Shalom, shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Waha, Waka, Kodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one only true name is Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, meaning coming in the name, Ba means coming in, Ha means the, Sham means name, Rakah means spirit, Kodash meaning holy. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you sincere brothers that are scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you sincere sisters that's listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Hara Zakah, and double honors to Yahweh Bahashemi Hawashai, and double honors to the elders and the apostles and bishops who will well and teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And pretty much this lesson is going to be titled as Adam and Eve did not bite an apple. Adam and Eve did not bite an apple. It was the philosophies. They took on the philosophies. And we're going to prove this in this lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. And if you are a person that disagree with this lesson, because I'm going to go into this lesson, and I know it's going to cause a lot of so-called socialization, like it happened day before yesterday. I went into the Trinity, and I got a lot of feedbacks. I've gotten individuals talking about, oh, I'm just trying to have a conversation, but really it's a debate. Keep your debates to yourself. I ain't doing no debates. When I do my lessons, you can go to those scriptures and read them yourself. If you disagree with the doctrine, don't watch my video. You don't need to watch it. You have your own belief. You still believe in the 501c3 religion, then that's fine. But at the end of all of this, we're going to see at the end. So, if you don't believe in 100% truth, which I've learned from the elders and the apostles and bishops, then don't watch this video. Okay, because it's not meant for you to get it. All it's doing for you is to try to cause a debate and try to confound somebody when you don't need to confound nothing. Everything that I'm saying in this video is factual and true. But see, a lot of you people out there, you guys have been indoctrinated with false doctrine. So you've been, infatuated with false doctrine so long that you don't want to come out of it. And that's just on you at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm just giving out, this truth, and it's either you can accept it or reject it. And if you reject it, then it's just not meant for you to get it, because the Lord is going to reveal it to who he wants to reveal it to. This truth isn't for everybody to get. Everybody's not going to get it. So don't come on my channel trying to debate. Don't come on my channel trying to be slick like you're trying to have a conversation, but you're really trying to debate to try to confound somebody. Go do that on somebody else's channel. Okay? It gets old after a while. You're not the only person that I dealt with doing that. I dealt with many people doing that. Ain't nobody finna keep doing that. You have your belief, and I have mine. So, hey, let's continue. And we're going to get into this. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So we're going to start in Genesis 3 and verse 1. This is Genesis 3 and 1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord had made. Now, when you go into, let's go into the meaning of subtile, okay? And then we're going to get that serpent out. Now, when you go to subtile, right, let's see what we can get in here. So it goes into H6175, okay, which means subtile, shrewd, crafty, right? Sly, sensible, crafty. Okay, that's what subtile is, crafty. Okay, and when you go into the meaning of that word crafty there, that's what we want to get.
Crafty.
It says clever at achieving one's aims by indirect or deceitful methods. Okay, so that's what that is going into. Okay, the crafty, deceitful methods. Okay, now we're going to get that serpent out because it's important to understand what is going on when you read the scriptures. If you just read the scriptures, you just plainly just read it because you just feel like reading it, and you read the Bible like a novel and you don't go into words, you're gonna get misconstrued with the scriptures. You're gonna read the scripture and then you're just gonna be thinking, okay, it's a snake. You gotta really go into these words. So we're gonna go into meaning the word serpent there, which I already have right here because it mentioned the serpent, right? So we're gonna go here.
Serpent.
It says a large snake, which we know that that's incorrect. So let's get number 2. It says a sly. Remember, we went into that word. We seen that word sly in a definition with crafty when we went into subtile, right? It says a sly, right? When you go into mean a sly,
Sly.
having or showing a cunning or deceitful nature. See, and there you go. You see crafty right underneath it. Okay, so sly and crafty is very similar meaning, right? It says a sly or a treacherous person. Let's go into treacherous.
Treacherous.
It says guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. Okay, betrayal or deception. And it says a sly or treacherous person. And this is the correct meaning here for that sly and treacherous person.
Person.
A human being regarding an as an individual. So that's what am I getting to there? That sly and treacherous person, right? Which was, it says that serpent. That serpent was an actual man. Okay, it wasn't a snake. It was an actual man that had Eve to sin. It says a sly or a treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it. So that serpent there, when we go here, was an actual person. It wasn't a snake. It was an actual person. And that person at the time, he had melanin in. It was Esau. Okay? Because in the time of Adam and Eve, you had you had the sons of the sons of God, right? You had the sons of God because there were many people there. You had the sons of God, which were later down the line Israelites. That's the son of God, the sons of God, which winds up going all the way down to the nation of Israel. They come from the line of the sons of God. Then you had the sons of men, right, which were the other nations, and then you had the sons of the wicked, which are the Edomites. Okay, yes, the sons of the wicked are the Edomites. So you had other people there during the time of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were not the only people there. That's why when you go right here, Genesis 3 and 6, it says, now the serpent. That serpent is a sly and treacherous person, a crafty person, a person to deceive. It was a person literally there that caused Eve to sin. And he gave her the philosophies. It wasn't an apple. She took on the philosophies, which was that forbidden fruit. And we're going to prove that. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, the serpent did, the treacherous sly person, right? It says, yea, have the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And remember that word tree there, because we're gonna validate that tree. Those trees, that tree there is actually referring to people. Those trees are actually referring to actual people. That's to prove the point too. Verse 2, it says, the woman said unto the serpent, that treacherous person, not a snake, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Remember that word trees there. It's like 4 or 5 times. We read tree up here, trees, and we read tree up there in verse 1, tree in verse 2, right? It says tree, that's twice, right? And it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3, it says, but of the fruit of the tree, they go the third time saying tree, 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 tree. It says, which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent, the treacherous person, said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Verse 5. For Elohim doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as God, seeing good and evil. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree, that's 4, right? 1, verse 1, that's 1. Verse 2, that's 2, right? It said, verse 3, and then verse 4. So that's 4 times it says trees. It says trees there like 4 times. Verse 6, it says that when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree, that's 5, to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So she gave the philosophies unto Adam. Eve consumed the philosophies. That those trees, that word tree there, those trees was referring to actual people. Okay, there was actual people around during the time of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were not the only 2 people there on the earth. There were other people there. There were other people there. But it's just a stumbling block because a lot of people don't know that. They just think that it's just them 2 there. No, it was other people there, other nations there, other people there. This is Mark 8 and 20, or Mark 8 and 24. Salakia. It says, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. Mark 8 and 24. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. So those trees there, when you read in verse 3, and you notice how it talks about trees, those are actual people it was talking about. It was talking about people. So when she said, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, she was talking about people. Those are actually people there. And that fruit was the philosophies. That's what she took on. That's what they took on. That's what Eve gave on to Adam. The fruit of lies, the philosophies. Got another precept. This is Hosea 10 and 13. It says, Ye have plowed wickedness. Okay, when you plow something, you're what? You're planting something. It says, Ye have plowed wickedness. Ye have reaped iniquity. Ye have eaten of the fruit of lies. So they took on the fruit of lies, which was the philosophies. It wasn't an actual apple. It wasn't a pear. It wasn't a watermelon. It wasn't an orange. It wasn't a mandarin. Because if it was fruit, why wasn't it in the Mosaic law? Wouldn't it have been in the Mosaic law to say, thou shalt not eat an apple, thou shalt not eat a pear, thou shalt not eat an orange? The Lord would forbidden us to eat fruit. It would have been in the Mosaic law. We eat fruit today. You wouldn't be able to eat fruit. It would be abolished if it was fruit that Adam and Eve ate. It was actual fruit. It was an actual apple. We wouldn't. It would be written in the Mosaic law. We wouldn't be able to eat fruit. Fruit would be an iniquity. It would be considered unclean when you go to the book of Leviticus. It would be written in the unclean law of food to eat and not to eat. Notice it doesn't mention an apple or pear. When you go to Leviticus, the 11th chapter, it doesn't mention nothing about not eating an apple, not eating a pear. It doesn't say any of that. When you look at the Mosaic law, when you go to the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter. So that's how we know that the fruit that Adam and Eve took on or consumed was the philosophies. It would be abolished. We would not be allowed to eat fruit. If it was an actual apple or pear or whatever they ate, that was a fruit, literal fruit. It would be in the Mosaic law. We wouldn't be able to eat fruit. So you got to be, when you read these scriptures, you really got to understand what is being said there. You can really get misconstrued. Hosea 10 and 13, it says, Ye have plowed wickedness. And when you go to the meaning of that word plow there, right?
Plowed.
It says, of an area of land having had the earth turned up with a plow, especially before sowing, right? And when you plow something,
Plow.
it says a large farming implement or with one or more blades fixed in a frame drawn by a tractor or by animals and used for cutting furrows in the soil, turning it over. especially to prepare for the planting of seeds. See, so when they took on those philosophies, that's what they plowed. They plowed iniquity. They plowed forbidden fruit, which was a philosophy is a forbidden fruit. If it's contrary to the word of the Lord, it is forbidden fruit. For an example, you got our people today, they're not in the truth, right? They're taken of the forbidden fruits, which is what? False doctrines. They believe in false doctrines, right? They believe in all of these philosophies of the 501c3. Majority of our people right now are eating forbidden fruit right now. See, but us, we're not eating forbidden fruit. We're eating the righteous fruit, the true fruit given through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. We're eating of good fruit right now. But our people, majority of them, they're eating forbidden fruit right now. They're eating forbidden fruit right now, which is the philosophies of America, of the whore. They're embedded in the politics, the false religions, and the philosophies. That's all the forbidden fruit there. That's forbidden fruit there. That's drunken of the wine of her fornication. That's the forbidden fruit there. Just giving an example. Hosea 10 and 13, it says, ye have plowed wickedness. So when you plow something, you're planting something. You take on to that doctrine, that false doctrine. Now you plowing it. You're planting it. You're planting forbidden fruit. When you take on something, you're plowing it. You're planting it. They planted wickedness because they took on a philosophy. It says, ye have plowed wickedness. Ye have reaped iniquity. Ye have eating of the fruit of lies. And I'm just using that as an example. That's the majority of what our people are doing today. They eating of the fruit of lies. They have plowed wickedness. It says, because thou didst trust in, see, thou didst trust in thy way in the multitude of thy mighty men. See, the fruit of lies. And that's what Adam and Eve took on. They took on the fruit of lies. They plowed wickedness. They planted wickedness. When you plow something, you're planting something. Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived. It says, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, thou shalt he reap. So they sowed wickedness. Now they reaped wickedness. And that's what happened with Adam and Eve. They sowed it. They plowed it, which is sowing it. And now they reaped it. They reaped it because they took on the philosophies. They took on the forbidden fruit, which the Lord prevented them not to do. And Eve did it, leading Adam into that same congregation of being what? Plowing that wickedness, plowing that forbidden fruit. Job 4 and 8, even as I have seen, you see, they plow iniquity and sow wickedness and reap the same. So they plowed wickedness, now they had to reap it. You see that? And they took on the philosophies. They took the forbidden fruit,
plow,
was the philosophies. And here it is again, just to show you. A large farming implement, right, with one or more blades fixed in a frame drawn by a tractor or by animals and used for cutting furrows in the soil and turning it over, especially to prepare for the planting of seeds. So when you plow something, you're planting something. So Adam and Eve, they plowed what? The fruit of lies. That's what they plowed, the philosophies. They were forbidden to take on the fruit of those trees, which was those philosophies. That's what the Lord forbid them from. And they went, and Eve was beguiled by one of those trees, and she took of the philosophy, ate of that forbidden fruit, which was that philosophy. That's what she took on. Matthew 7 and 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. You see that? Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. And that's the facts right there. Every tree, it says every good tree, which that tree is a person. It's referring to a person. When you understand the scriptures, it's a parable. You got to be able to understand it. Otherwise than that, you're not going to understand it. It says, verse 17, so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Every good tree. That tree there is referred to a person. Okay? Every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. The good fruit. This truth. This word. For an example. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A corrupt tree. A tree is a person. Right? Giving you a philosophy. A false doctrine. As an example. That's evil fruit. That's forbidden fruit there. Because they're giving you a philosophy, a lie, the fruits of lies. So it's a philosophy. That's a corrupt tree. If a person is teaching a false doctrine, they're a corrupt tree. A person that's teaching 100% truth or giving out the truth is a good tree. So you got to understand that tree there is referring to an actual people, a person. So if a person bringing forth false doctrine, a false religion, they're what? They're a corrupt tree, which bringeth what? Evil fruit, which is a lie, a philosophy. Okay? So that's what that's talking about there. That's not talking about an actual fruit. So let's go back to Genesis 3 and 1. Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent, now you know who the serpent is. A serpent was an actual person that beguiled Eve to eat of that forbidden fruit. Okay? Which was the philosophy. All right? The corrupt tree gave her the evil fruit, which is the forbidden fruit, which is a philosophy. That's what they took on, the philosophies. It says, now the serpent was more subtle, and we went into subtle. That's crafty, right? A person that leads somebody to be of deception, right? It says that any beast of the field, and a beast is even referring to people. Beast is referring to people as well. It says that any beast of the field, right, which the Lord power have made. You see that? And he said unto the woman, ye have, it says, ye have, the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Now you know the trees. Now you know that the trees were referring to actual people. And we read that in Mark 8 and 24. It says, verse 2, it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, that treacherous person, that actual person, which was an actual man, right? We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. The trees is the people. The fruit is the philosophies, right? It says, verse 3, it says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High saith, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die, right? The philosophies. The trees were actual people. The fruit is the fruit of lies. Verse 4, it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Verse 5, for Elohim doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. It was the philosophies, man. Okay. Verse 6, and when the woman saw that the tree, right, which was that person, was good for food, which was the philosophy, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit, which was the philosophies thereof, and did eat. She consumed of that philosophy. She plowed that forbidden fruit. She plowed it, and then she gave it to Adam. She brought that same philosophy to Adam, and Adam took of it. Just like today, with the women today be doing that. They be plowing wickedness, plowing to philosophies and giving it to their husband, causing them to fall. Because the scriptures even said the woman is the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, which was Eve, because she took of that forbidden fruit, the philosophy. It says, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. He took of that philosophy. He took of that fruit, which was that philosophy. So again, man, at the end of the day, you got to understand that is what happened. She took on the philosophy. Okay, she took on the forbidden fruit. I was trying to find a picture, but I guess I didn't have it. So she took on the forbidden fruit. That's what led them to fall. And that's what that's going into. So hey, Adam and Eve, they did not bite an apple. They didn't bite an apple, a pear, a mango, what else is there? Watermelon. It wasn't no fruit. It was the philosophies that they took on. So hey, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Yahweh Kakodash. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you sincere brothers that are scattered abroad, pushing forth his word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you sincere sisters that's listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Harazakah, and Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. On to the next one. Shalom.